Child, come closer and listen. There is a name so holy, so eternal, that even the heavens tremble in reverence. When it is spoken, it is not just a name, it is being itself. It is breath, life, existence, eternity. That name is Yahweh, the I am that I am. Before time began, before stars were set in their places, before oceans formed their depths, Yahweh was. He is not a god, made by hands, not a thought formed by men. He simply is, beyond beginning and end, beyond all comprehension, beyond the reach of human imagination. He remains, forever unchanging, forever present. When Moses stood before the burning bush, trembling in awe, he asked, "Who shall I say sent me?" And the voice replied, "I am who I am." Exodus 3:14. Child, in that single declaration, eternity revealed itself. Yahweh did not define himself by creation, for creation came from him. He did not define himself by time, for time bows before him. He simply is the self-existent one, the uncreated creator, the eternal presence that fills all things. Child, understand this. Yahweh is not distant. His name, though sacred, is not meant to create separation. It is meant to awaken wonder. When you whisper Yahweh, you speak the breath of existence itself. Some say it cannot even be spoken fully, for it is the sound of breathing, the inhale and the exhale of life. Every breath you take is a reminder that you live because of him. Think about that, child. Every time you breathe, you echo his name. You inhale grace, you exhale praise. You live in his rhythm, you move because he sustains you. You exist because his presence holds you together. So, when fear comes, when uncertainty clouds your heart, remember, Yahweh does not change. He is not shaken by the chaos of men. He is not moved by the noise of the world. He remains steadfast, eternal, unbreakable. The same God who parted the Red Sea, who spoke galaxies into existence, who raised the dead to life. He is the one who calls you his own. Child, let that truth settle deep within you. You do not serve a small God, made by imagination. You are known by the Infinite One, whose name cannot be fully spoken. The name Yahweh carries power that shakes the heavens, love that heals the broken, and mercy that restores the fallen. In that holy name, you find your being. In that name, you are safe. In that name, you are whole. Breathe, child. Inhale, exhale, and remember, you bear the sound of his name with every breath you take. I am the Lord, that is my name. I will not yield my glory to another, or my praise to idols. Isaiah 42:8. Child, be still for a moment. Feel the air around you, the quiet rhythm of your breath, the pulse of life, moving through your veins. That, child, is not random. It is the presence of Yahweh, the Eternal One, who dwells not only in the heavens, but also within you. When he said, "I am that I am," he revealed more than a name. He revealed his nearness. He is not a distant deity, observing from afar. Yahweh is here, in the silence of the morning, in the whisper of the wind, in the warmth that floods your soul when you pray. He is there. Do you see, child? He is not only above creation, but also within it. He moves through every breath of life. His presence saturates the earth. Every sunrise sings his glory. Every heartbeat echoes his faithfulness, and every tear you shed is seen by his eternal gaze. When you walk through valleys of pain, Yahweh walks with you. When you rejoice upon the mountaintop, Yahweh rejoices too. His presence does not come and go, it remains. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. You do not need to summon him, for he has already chosen to dwell among his people, to live within the hearts of those who love him. Child, so many seek the presence of God, as if it were hidden behind walls or locked in temples built by hands. But Yahweh has written his dwelling place, not on stone, but in spirit. His temple is not a building, it is you. You are the vessel of his glory, the carrier of his light, the breathing sanctuary of his power. Do you remember what he said through the prophet Ezekiel? I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes. Ezekiel 36:27. This is Yahweh's eternal promise, to be not only your creator, but your indwelling presence, your constant companion, your abiding strength. Child, when you feel alone, pause, breathe deeply, whisper his name, not loudly, but softly, as if speaking to the wind. Yahweh hears, for he is closer than your breath. His presence wraps around you like a warm mantle, steadying your soul, calming your thoughts. He is not only the God of the universe, but the God within your heart. Every worry, every doubt, every silent ache, he feels it all. Yahweh is the great I am, but he is also the gentle whisper, saying, I am with you. So walk today, not as one abandoned, but as one accompanied by eternity itself. For Yahweh, the eternal presence, lives within you. 1 Corinthians 3:16. Do you not know that you are God's temple, and that God's Spirit dwells in you? Child, listen closely. There is a mystery, hidden in every breath of wind, every flicker of light, every heartbeat that sustains your life. It is this: nothing exists apart from Yahweh. He is not only the creator of all things, but the one who continually holds them together. Every moment, every atom, every law of nature moves because he sustains it. The world spins because his will commands it. The oceans remain within their boundaries because his voice said, thus far and no farther. Job 38:11. The stars hang in the vastness of the heavens because his hand keeps them burning. Child, if Yahweh were to withdraw his breath, all of creation would fall into silence. Every living thing depends upon him, for he is life itself. You, too, are upheld by his sustaining power, the strength in your body, the clarity in your mind, the peace in your soul. All flow from the one who never sleeps, nor slumbers. You do not rise each morning by chance. You rise because Yahweh breathes purpose into your day. You do not endure hardship by your own will. You endure because his hand supports you when you cannot stand. Child, understand this. Yahweh's sustaining presence is not loud. It is quiet, steady, and constant. It does not always announce itself with miracles or thunder, yet it is more powerful than any storm. The fact that your heart still beats, that you can still hope, still believe, still love, that is his work within you. Think of the universe, vast and endless. Scientists may measure galaxies and name stars, but none can explain why the cosmos continues to exist. It is because Yahweh's word sustains all things. He upholds all things by the word of his power. Hebrews 1:3. The same word that spoke light into darkness now sustains your soul in times of doubt. When you feel like you are falling apart, child, remember, Yahweh never does. When everything around you feels uncertain, he remains firm. The same God who keeps galaxies in motion is the one who keeps your heart steady. You are not forgotten. You are being carried by his strength, even when you cannot see his hand. So rest, child. Do not let fear convince you that you are alone. You are sustained by the breath of eternity. Every sigh you release, every tear you cry, Every step you take, He is there, unseen but unshakable, holding you together when everything else feels like it's falling apart. Lift your eyes to the heavens and whisper, Yahweh, you sustain me. For that is truth beyond all reason. The Eternal One carries you through every moment of time. You alone are the Lord. You made the heavens, the highest heavens, and all their host, the earth, and all that is on it. You give life to everything. Nehemiah 9:6. Child, listen carefully. Yahweh is not a God who forgets. He is the covenant keeper, faithful to every promise, steadfast in every generation. What He has spoken, He will fulfill. What He has begun, He will complete. His word does not fade, like the promises of men. It stands unbroken, eternal, and alive. Do you remember, child, how He called Abraham out of Ur, a man with no map, no plan, no certainty, only a voice that said, "Go." And Abraham went, because Yahweh had promised. Through that covenant, Yahweh sealed an everlasting bond, a promise that reached far beyond one man, stretching through time to touch you. Even now, Yahweh made a covenant, not written in fading ink, but in blood and spirit. When He swore by Himself, there was no greater name by which to confirm His word. Know therefore that the Lord your God is God. He is the faithful God, keeping His covenant of love to 1,000 generations. Deuteronomy 7:9. Child, that means His faithfulness to you does not depend on your perfection, but on His nature. Yahweh does not abandon what He has chosen. He does not withdraw His love. When you falter, His covenant is not fragile. It is bound by His unchanging character. He has written your name upon His hand, sealed your destiny with His Spirit, and surrounded your life with His promises. Sometimes, child, you may feel forgotten, your prayers unanswered, your path unclear. But remember the night sky Abraham looked upon, filled with stars beyond counting. Each one represented a promise that seemed impossible, yet Yahweh fulfilled every word in His time. The same God who kept His word to Abraham, to Moses, to David, will keep His word to you. The covenant of Yahweh is not just about protection or provision. It is about relationship. It is His vow to be your God, your Father, your guide, forever. He does not merely visit you. He dwells with you. He does not simply bless you. He binds Himself to you with unbreakable love. Child, if Yahweh said He would heal you, He will. If He said He would deliver you, He will. If He said He would restore what was lost, He will. His timing may stretch your faith, but His faithfulness will never fail you. So lift your heart today and rest in the assurance of His covenant. You are part of a promise, older than time, sustained by a God who never breaks His word. Know therefore that the Lord your God is God, the faithful God who keeps covenant and steadfast love with those who love Him and keep His commandments. Deuteronomy 7:9. Child, tread softly now, for we speak of the holiness of Yahweh, a fire that burns with purity so fierce that darkness cannot stand before it. His holiness is not merely goodness, it is perfection, untainted, absolute. It is the brilliance that fills the heavens, the light that no shadow can endure. When Isaiah saw Yahweh seated upon His throne, the prophet fell to the ground trembling. The seraphim cried, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of His glory." Isaiah 6:3. The sound shook the temple, and Isaiah could only whisper, "Woe is me, for I am undone." For when the mortal stands before the Eternal, every pretense fades. Every impurity is exposed in the radiance of His holiness. Child, do you understand what it means that Yahweh is holy? It means he is unlike any other. There is no flaw in him, no shadow of deceit, no wavering in his will. His holiness burns away corruption and cleanses all who draw near. The fire that once consumed the bush, but did not destroy it, that is the same fire that refines your soul without consuming your life. To encounter Yahweh's holiness is both awe and mercy. For though his light reveals our frailty, his love restores what is broken. He does not expose you to condemn you. He exposes you to heal you. The fire that purifies also warms. The flame that convicts also comforts. Child, never fear the fire of Yahweh. Let it burn away pride, fear, and doubt. Let it cleanse you of what the world has stained. For those who yield to his fire become vessels of his glory. Those who resist it remain bound by darkness. The holiness of Yahweh is not to destroy. It is to make whole again, to set you apart, to transform your very nature until you reflect his image. When the Israelites stood at Mount Sinai, the mountain trembled with fire and smoke. They feared to draw near, yet Yahweh called them not to destroy, but to dwell among them. His holiness is not distant. It seeks intimacy with the hearts, willing to be made clean. So, child, open your heart before the Holy One. Ask him not only for blessing, but for purification. Say, Yahweh, consume all that is not of you within me. Make me holy as you are holy, and watch how his refining presence will make your soul radiant. For Yahweh's holiness is not a burden. It is beauty in its purest form. It is the fire that turns ashes into light, mourning into joy, and weakness into glory. For our God is a consuming fire. Hebrews 12:29. Child, breathe deeply and rest your heart. For today we speak of the gentleness of Yahweh, your shepherd. The same God whose holiness burns like fire also carries the heart of a shepherd, watchful, patient, and tender toward his flock. He is both the thunder on the mountain and the whisper in the meadow. When David wrote, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," Psalm 23:1, he was not merely describing a guide, he was revealing a relationship. Yahweh does not drive his people like a taskmaster. He leads them. His hand is steady, his eyes never lose sight of you, and his voice calls your name with love. Child, when life feels uncertain, remember, the shepherd knows every path before you take it. The terrain may seem steep, the valleys shadowed, but he walks before you. He prepares the way, clearing thorns and dangers unseen. You do not wander aimlessly. Your steps are known, your direction ordered. Yahweh is not only your protector, he is your provider. In barren seasons, he leads you to green pastures. When your soul grows weary, he restores it beside still waters. He does not rush you, he renews you. Every pause, every silence, every delay in your journey holds divine purpose. For the shepherd does not waste time, he uses it to heal. There will be moments, child, when you cannot see him, when all around you seems dry and empty. But even then, he is near. His rod and his staff comfort you. His presence disciplines, but it also defends. Sometimes he allows you to walk through the valley, not because he has left you, but because he is leading you to higher ground. Remember the words of the prophet Isaiah. He tends his flock like a shepherd. He gathers the lambs in his arms and carries them close to his heart. Isaiah 40:11. That is how Yahweh sees you, not as a burden, but as his beloved. When you stumble, he does not scold, he lifts. When you stray, he does not abandon, he searches until you are found. Child, trust his pace. Do not rush ahead of his guidance or linger in fear behind his call. Walk with him, one step at a time, one prayer at a time. The shepherd knows where he is leading you, even when the destination is hidden. And when the night feels too long, remember this: Yahweh never sleeps. He watches over his flock with eyes that neither close nor tire. The same hand that set the stars in their places now rests gently upon you. Rest in his care, child. You are seen, known, and loved by Yahweh, your shepherd. Follow his voice, and you will never be lost. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Psalm 23, verse 1. Child, lift your eyes and open your heart, for today we speak of one of the gentlest truths of all. Yahweh hears you. He is not a distant God who ignores your prayers or delays out of indifference. He bends low, attentive to every whisper, every sigh, every tear that falls from your eyes. Before a word leaves your tongue, Yahweh knows it. Before a prayer is spoken, he has already heard the ache of your heart. Do you see, child? Even your silence is a language to him. The cries you cannot form, the groans you cannot explain, the thoughts that hide beneath your words, he understands them all. When Israel groaned under the weight of bondage in Egypt, their cries rose up, and Scripture says, God heard their groaning and God remembered his covenant. Exodus 2:24. Child, this is the nature of Yahweh. He not only hears, he remembers. He does not forget you in your distress. Your prayers are not lost in the wind. They ascend before the throne of the Eternal One. There are times, child, when you may think heaven is silent, when your prayers seem to vanish unanswered. But silence is not absence. Yahweh hears even in the stillness. His timing may seem slow to your heart, but it is perfect to his plan. Every delay is preparation, every waiting season, a forming ground for greater glory. Do you remember Hannah, child? She wept bitterly before Yahweh, praying for a son. To others, her lips moved, but no sound came forth. Yet Yahweh heard her unspoken prayer, and in due time he answered, turning her tears into joy. The same God who heard Hannah hears you even now. Child, Yahweh's hearing is not limited to words. It is drawn to sincerity. A single honest cry pierces the heavens more powerfully than 1,000 empty phrases. So do not worry about eloquence. Just speak truthfully, humbly, from your soul. Yahweh listens to hearts, not performances. Sometimes you do not even need to speak. Just sit in his presence and he will understand. The one who formed your being knows the language of your spirit. He knows the difference between your tears of pain and your tears of awe. So when you pray tonight, do not wonder if he hears. Know that he does. Know that every prayer, every whisper, every sigh is sacred to him. Yahweh stores your tears in his bottle and writes your petitions upon his heart. And though his answer may not come in the form you expect, it will always come in the way that fulfills his love for you. The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. Psalm 34:17. Child, lift your heart in remembrance, for today we speak of Yahweh your deliverer, the one who breaks chains, opens prison doors, and sets captives free. He is not merely a God of words, but of action, not distant in majesty, but near in mercy. When his people cry, he rises in power. When darkness surrounds, he becomes the light that cannot be quenched. From the beginning, Yahweh has revealed himself as deliverer. He heard the groans of his people in Egypt, saw their tears beneath the whips of oppression, and said, I have come down to deliver them. Exodus 3:8. Do you see, child? He did not send another, he came down. Deliverance is not something Yahweh simply provides. It is something he is. His very nature is to rescue, to redeem, to restore what was broken. You may feel trapped, surrounded, or bound by forces you cannot overcome. Fear, shame, addiction, despair. But Yahweh's power is not limited by circumstance. He is the God who parts seas, who causes walls to crumble, who silences the lions that seek to devour. There is no pit so deep, no prison so strong that his hand cannot reach. Child, Sometimes deliverance begins quietly, a whisper in your spirit, a nudge toward repentance, a dawning realization that you were never meant to live in bondage. Other times, it comes suddenly, a breakthrough so swift that even your enemies stand in awe. Both are the work of Yahweh, who rescues in his perfect time and perfect way. Remember this: Yahweh does not deliver you merely from something, he delivers you for something. When he freed Israel from Egypt, it was not just to end their suffering, it was to lead them into promise, into covenant, into destiny. He is not only the God of escape, but the God of purpose. Every chain he breaks, every battle he wins, moves you closer to what he has prepared. And child, your deliverance is not only about power, it is about love. Yahweh rescues because his heart is bound to yours. He fights for you not because you are perfect, but because you are his. His compassion compels his might. The same God who split the Red Sea with a word now speaks over your life, saying, "Peace, be still." So when the enemy whispers that you are trapped, lift your eyes. The deliverer stands beside you. When fear says there is no way out, remember the one who makes a way where there is none. Whisper his name, Yahweh, and know that the same power that freed generations past moves for you now. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer. My God is my rock, in whom I take refuge. Psalm 18:2. Child, come closer and rest in this truth. Yahweh is your provider. He is the one who sees your need before you speak it, who prepares your portion before you arrive, who sustains you when your strength has run dry. To know him as Yahweh is to trust that you will never lack what is necessary for your journey. From the dawn of creation, he has revealed himself as the source of all provision. He spoke, and the earth brought forth fruit. He commanded the rivers, and they teemed with life. Every resource, seen and unseen, flows from his word. When he said, "Let there be," abundance began. That same creative power still moves on your behalf. Remember Abraham, child, when he stood upon Mount Moriah, ready to surrender what he loved most. Yahweh provided a ram in place of his son. It was there Abraham declared, "Yahweh Yireh, the Lord will provide." Genesis 22:14. Provision is not just what he gives, it is who he is. Do not measure his provision by your possessions. The world defines abundance by wealth and status, but Yahweh's provision is far deeper. He gives peace when the world gives anxiety. He gives strength when your heart feels faint. He gives wisdom when the path ahead is uncertain. Every spiritual, emotional, and physical need is seen by him. Child, sometimes Yahweh provides through miracles like manna from heaven that appears unexpectedly. Other times his provision comes through process, a door that opens slowly, a relationship that matures, an idea that blossoms in season. Either way, his hand is steady and his timing is perfect. You may not always see his plan, but you can trust his heart. When you look back, you will realize he never failed you, not once. Every tear you cried was counted. Every hunger he satisfied, every longing he answered in his wisdom. His provision is not random, it is tailored to your destiny. And remember this, beloved, the greatest provision of all was not material, it was himself. He gave his presence, he gave his spirit, he gave his son. The cross was Yahweh's declaration that he would withhold nothing good from his children. So when worry whispers, "Will I have enough?" respond with faith. Yahweh provides. When fear says, "I cannot make it," say, "My provider is faithful." When you see no way forward, remember the one who fed thousands with a few loaves, who filled jars with oil, who multiplies what is surrendered to him. Yahweh's provision is not bound by economy, by circumstance, or by man's approval. It flows from eternity, from a father's heart that delights in giving good gifts. Rest, child. You are not forsaken. The one who fed Israel in the desert and clothed the lilies of the field watches over you. He knows what you need before you ask. And my God will supply all your needs according to his riches in glory in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:19. Child, lean in and hear this. Yahweh is your peace. When the world around you rages, when chaos threatens to overwhelm, when your heart races with fear and anxiety, he is the stillness that remains unshaken. The sovereign of all creation whispers calm to your soul, and in his presence, turmoil loses its power. From the beginning, Yahweh has been the one who brings order from chaos. The Spirit of God hovered over the waters, and life began. His word cut through darkness, and light appeared. Child, just as he commanded creation into order, he commands your life into peace. Even when circumstances seem impossible, his peace is not dependent on outcomes. It is rooted in his unchanging character. Remember Jesus on the storm-tossed sea. The disciples panicked, thinking all was lost. Yet when he spoke, "Peace, be still," the winds and waves obeyed. Mark 4:39. That same power is available to you, child. Yahweh speaks over the storms of your mind, over the battles of your heart, over the conflicts that rise around you. Peace is more than absence of trouble. It is the presence of God in every situation. It is confidence in his sovereignty, knowing that nothing happens outside his will. When anxiety attacks, you can anchor your heart in him, trusting that he is bigger than your fears, wiser than your understanding, and closer than your own breath. Child, there will be trials. There will be challenges that test your faith. There will be nights when sleep is restless, when questions cloud your mind. But Yahweh's peace does not come from the absence of trials. It comes from the assurance that he holds your hand through them. His Spirit settles what the world cannot touch. When you pray, say, "Yahweh, you are my peace. Calm my heart. Quiet my mind. Let your presence rule in me." Speak his word over your circumstances, for the power of Yahweh transcends every human limitation. And remember, his peace is not temporary. It endures forever. It guards your heart and mind. It steadies your steps, and it prepares you to face the storms with courage. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. John 14:27. Child, rest in this truth. No chaos, no enemy, no fear can undo the serenity Yahweh brings. When you walk in his peace, you walk in authority over worry itself. Child, listen closely. Yahweh is not only your peace, he is your healer. Every wound, every pain, every broken part of your life, he sees it all and touches it with his power. The God who formed you knows what it takes to restore you fully, mind, body, and spirit. Think of the Israelites in the wilderness. They were weary, hungry, and thirsty, yet Yahweh provided manna from heaven and water from a rock. He healed their bodies, sustained their souls, and renewed their strength day by day. Child, he does the same for you today. When life has left you tired, when sickness or sorrow has burdened you, Yahweh brings restoration. Healing begins in your heart. He mends the broken pieces, lifts the heavy load, and washes away despair. Just as he sent his word to make dry bones live, Ezekiel 37, he breathes life into places of emptiness in your soul. Nothing is too far gone, nothing too hopeless, for the hand of Yahweh is mighty to save and heal. Even in the midst of fear or uncertainty, he works quietly, a gentle whisper, a sudden clarity, a strengthening of faith. These are the ways Yahweh moves. His timing is perfect, his power unstoppable. You may not see it immediately, but his touch is active and relentless. When you feel weak, call on him. Speak his name over your body, your mind, your family, your relationships. Let faith rise within you, knowing that Yahweh is your doctor, your restorer, your sustainer. Child, do not rely on human strength. Do not trust only in medicine, in wealth, or in temporary fixes. Trust in the one whose word created the universe, whose voice parted the seas, whose presence raised the dead. Yahweh's power brings healing that lasts, peace that endures, and restoration that transforms. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147, verse 3. Child, let this truth sink deep. Every area of pain, every place of suffering is an opportunity for Yahweh to display His healing power. Rest in Him. Speak His promises. Watch as He restores, renews, and strengthens you for the path ahead. Child, hear me well. Yahweh is the one who never fails, the God whose faithfulness stretches from generation to generation. Every promise He has spoken stands firm. Every covenant He has made endures forever. When the world seems uncertain, when resources are scarce, when people falter, Yahweh remains steadfast. Think of Abraham, who trusted Yahweh's word even when the promise seemed impossible. He waited, he believed, and he received beyond imagination. Child, your life is no different. Even when provision seems delayed, when doors appear closed, Yahweh is moving unseen, preparing blessings that exceed what your heart can envision. Provision comes in many forms. Sometimes it is a sudden opportunity. Sometimes it is a friend who brings help. Sometimes it is a peace in your spirit that surpasses understanding. Yahweh is the source of all good things. He is the one who supplies daily bread, opens the storehouses of heaven, and causes your needs to be met according to His riches in glory. Faithfulness is not just about giving, it is about presence. Yahweh is with you in every season, guiding, correcting, protecting. He does not abandon you even when you stumble. His eyes are upon you, His ears attentive to your cries, His hand at work behind the scenes. Child, do not grow weary in trusting Him. Do not despair when life seems dry. Hold fast to the knowledge that Yahweh's promises are sure. Speak them over your life, over your family, over your circumstances. His word does not return void. It accomplishes what He sends it to do. Even in challenges, He is faithful. Even in storms, He provides. Even in battles, He strengthens. You are not alone, child. The God who laid the foundations of the earth, who commands the stars, who calms the seas, is committed to your life. The Lord is faithful to all His promises and loving toward all He has made. Psalm 145, verse 13. So lift your eyes, child. Declare His faithfulness. Expect His provision. Walk boldly, knowing that Yahweh will never fail you. The God who has been faithful in the past will continue to be faithful today and tomorrow. Child, listen carefully. Yahweh is not only your provider, but your protector. He is the one who stands as a fortress around you, a shield against every attack, a refuge in times of trouble. No scheme of the enemy, no plan of man, no circumstance of life can overcome the one who holds all creation in His hands. Consider David, the shepherd boy, facing Goliath. By human standards, he was powerless, yet Yahweh's presence went before him. A simple sling and a stone became instruments of victory because Yahweh fought for him. Child, your battles are no different. Your mountains may look insurmountable. Your enemies may appear mighty, but the God who delivered David is your deliverer today. Protection from Yahweh is not always visible. Sometimes it comes as wisdom to avoid danger, sometimes as courage to face the impossible, sometimes as peace in the midst of chaos. He surrounds you with His angels, guards your mind, shields your heart, and keeps your path secure. When fear tries to enter your mind, remind yourself, Yahweh is your refuge. When anxiety presses on your heart, remember, He is your rock. When threats rise against you, declare, the Lord is my stronghold. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Child, his authority over all creation is at work in your life, even now. Protection also comes in timing. Yahweh may delay your victory not to deny you, but to perfect your deliverance. Just as he led Israel through the wilderness, guiding them step by step, so he leads you with precision and care. Trust him, for he knows the end from the beginning. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going both now and forevermore. Psalm 121, verses 7 through 8. Child, lift your heart in confidence. Walk boldly. Speak his name over every challenge. Yahweh, your protector and deliverer, is with you. The mountains may shake, storms may rage, but you are covered by his mighty hand. Child, listen. Yahweh is not only your protector, he is also the one who orchestrates every moment of your life with divine precision. Every heartbeat, every sunrise, every step you take is under his sovereign control. Nothing is random, nothing happens outside his plan. Even when life seems chaotic, even when doors seem closed, Yahweh's timing is perfect. Think of Joseph, sold into slavery by his own brothers. The journey was painful, unjust, and uncertain. Yet Yahweh's hand moved steadily. Every hardship, every delay, every trial was preparing him for a position of influence and authority. Child, your struggles are not meaningless. They are the refining fire that shapes you, the necessary steps that lead to your destiny. Patience is the key. Do not rush ahead of Yahweh, nor despair when his plan unfolds slowly. Trust that he is working all things together for your good. His timing is flawless, and his plans are unbreakable. Every closed door, every delay, every season of waiting is a setup for a greater breakthrough than you can imagine. Yahweh's plans are not merely for survival, they are for your flourishing. He desires not only to keep you safe, but to place you in the right place at the right time, to connect you with the right people, and to open doors that no man can shut. Even the enemies plotting against you cannot thwart his purpose. Child, learn to wait in faith. While the world races forward in haste, you are learning to walk in step with the Almighty. When you align your heart with his timing, peace floods your spirit, clarity lights your path, and victory becomes inevitable. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. Child, listen. Yahweh is the source of your strength, the one who renews your spirit when the weight of life presses upon you. The burdens you carry, the trials that drain your energy, the challenges that seem insurmountable. All of these are met with his power. He does not leave you to rely on your own strength, for human strength falters, but his strength is limitless and eternal. Think of Elijah, weary and desolate after his battle with the prophets of Baal. He fled into the wilderness, feeling alone, exhausted, and defeated. Yet Yahweh met him not with condemnation, but with nourishment, rest, and renewal. He sent food and water, gave him rest under the shadow of his provision, and whispered reassurance. Child, this is how Yahweh works in your life. When you are weary, he meets you with his sustaining power. Your spirit may falter, your hope may waver, but Yahweh breathes life into your soul. He strengthens your heart, renews your courage, and refills your mind with clarity and peace. The storms of life cannot overwhelm you when you anchor yourself in his power. He transforms weakness into strength, despair into hope, and weariness into perseverance. Child, do not despise the moments of weakness, for they are opportunities to experience his strength. When you feel incapable, his power shines brightest. When you cannot see the way forward, his strength carries you. The God who split the Red Sea, who raised the dead, who calmed the storms, he is your strength today, now in this very moment. Rest in his promise, lean on his power, and allow his presence to refresh your spirit. Every morning brings a new supply of his strength. Every challenge becomes a stage for His glory. Every trial you face is a canvas on which Yahweh demonstrates His power and renewal. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Isaiah 40:29. Child, hear this truth. Yahweh is the light that pierces every shadow in your life. When confusion clouds your mind, when fear grips your heart, when the path before you seems uncertain, His light illuminates the way. Darkness is not a place of abandonment. It is a place where His presence becomes most visible, a canvas for His glory to shine. Consider the Israelites in the land of Egypt. They walked under the shadow of oppression, surrounded by walls of despair, yet Yahweh became their guiding light. The pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night showed them the way. Even when the journey seemed endless, they were never left without direction. Child, your life is no different. When you cannot see the road ahead, Yahweh is the light that guides each step. Do not fear the darkness, for it is temporary. It cannot overpower the light of Yahweh. He brings clarity where there is confusion, hope where there is despair, and courage where there is fear. Even when others abandon you, when circumstances seem impossible, His light remains unwavering. It penetrates every shadow, every corner of your life, revealing His power, His love, and His plans. Child, when storms rage and shadows fall, fix your eyes on Him. Let His light shine into your heart, illuminating truth, banishing lies, and dispelling fear. Even the smallest flicker of Yahweh's light in your life can conquer the deepest darkness. Trust Him to guide you, to protect you, and to reveal the path of righteousness. Your light is not your own. It comes from Yahweh. Do not rely on your understanding or your strength. Lean on His illumination. Allow Him to lead, to teach, and to guide you. The enemy may try to blind you with fear, confusion, or doubt, but the light of Yahweh cannot be extinguished. It shines eternal, bringing comfort, clarity, and victory. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Psalm 27, verse 1. Child, rise in confidence. Step forward in faith. Yahweh lights the path for you. Walk boldly, for even in the darkest night, His light is with you, guiding every step, protecting every movement, and revealing the way to victory. Child, listen closely. Yahweh is not only your light, but also your refuge and fortress. In a world full of threats, challenges, and uncertainties, there is a safe place, an unshakable stronghold where your spirit finds rest and your heart finds peace. No matter how fierce the storm or how relentless the enemy, Yahweh is your sanctuary. Think of David fleeing from Saul, hiding in caves and wilderness. Yet even there, he was never abandoned. Yahweh was his refuge, his fortress, his protection. The rocks and mountains around him were symbols of the eternal protection Yahweh provides. Child, the same God who protected David is your refuge today. When fear rises, when anxiety presses, when attacks come from every side, you can hide in Him. Do not mistake this refuge as a place of passivity. It is active, powerful, and sustaining. Yahweh is not a distant observer. He is present, intervening, shielding, and strengthening. In your times of weakness, He becomes your stronghold. In your moments of despair, He lifts you up. Every trial you face is met by the power of the Almighty, keeping you safe, guiding you forward. Child, your fortress is more than protection from physical threats. It is shelter for your mind, your emotions, your spirit. When doubt and discouragement attack, when the world tries to overwhelm you, Yahweh is your fortified place. He is your inner strength, your courage, and your shield. No scheme of the enemy can penetrate the walls He has built around you. Take refuge in Him, child. Enter His presence with confidence, knowing that He is faithful and strong. Lay your burdens at His feet, your worries in His hands, and watch how He guards your life, your home, and your future. Even when battles rage around you, He stands unmovable, your eternal fortress, your safe place. God is our refuge and strength, and ever-present help in trouble. Psalm 46, verse 1. Child, lean on Yahweh, your fortress. Trust in His protection, rest in His presence, and find peace that surpasses all understanding. You are never alone. He is your shelter, your shield, and your victory. Child, hear this. Yahweh is not just a refuge. He is your mighty deliverer. He fights for you when you cannot fight for yourself. He shields you when danger surrounds you. No weapon formed against you, no plot devised in secret, can stand against His power. The battles of life, seen and unseen, are under His control, and He fights them on your behalf. Think of Israel at the Red Sea, child. Pharaoh's army was behind them, the waters before them, and yet the Lord intervened. He made a way where there was no way. He delivered them from death, from defeat, from fear. Just as He did for them, so He stands for you today. The giants you face, the mountains in your path, the storms that threaten your peace, none can prevail against the power of Yahweh. Child, do not rely on your own strength. Your power is limited, your understanding imperfect, your hands too weak for some battles. But Yahweh's strength is unlimited, His wisdom infinite, His hands strong enough to overcome every obstacle. When you call on Him in faith, He becomes your shield. When attacks come, His presence surrounds you like a wall of fire. Remember David facing Goliath. He did not stand alone. He stood with the name of Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, the God of armies. The enemy may be large, fearsome, or mighty, but Yahweh's name is greater. Child, when you face fear, speak His name and watch the giants fall. When trials overwhelm, raise your voice to Him and watch your enemies scatter. Yahweh shields not only your body, but also your mind, your emotions, and your spirit. Anxiety, doubt, depression, and fear cannot penetrate the protection He provides. You are hidden under His wings, armored with His truth and secured by His faithfulness. Child, rejoice in this promise. You are never defenseless. You are never abandoned. The one who commands the heavens and the earth is on your side. Trust in Him, for Yahweh's shield never fails. His power never weakens, and His deliverance never delays. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer. My God is my rock, in whom I take refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. Psalm 18:2. Child, stand boldly today. Raise your heart in faith, for your mighty deliverer goes before you. He fights, He protects, He triumphs on your behalf. Your victory is assured, for Yahweh is with you always. Child, listen carefully. In a world full of chaos, uncertainty, and noise, there is one source of true peace, the Lord Yahweh. He is not a peace that depends on circumstances, money, or people. He is the everlasting peace that calms the storm within, steadies your heart, and restores your soul. When you rest in Him, child, all fear, anxiety, and worry lose their grip. Think of the Israelites in the wilderness. For 40 years they faced scarcity, danger, and uncertainty. Yet when they trusted in Yahweh, He provided manna from heaven, water from the rock, and protection from every enemy. His provision brought rest. His presence brought peace, and He does the same for you today. Child, no matter how turbulent your life may feel, when you fix your eyes on Yahweh, you find stillness for your spirit. Yahweh's peace is not passive, it is powerful. It strengthens your heart in the face of trials, steadies your mind when fear rises, and restores your courage when doubt whispers. His peace acts as a shield, guarding your thoughts, emotions, and decisions. Child, when you dwell in his presence, even the most violent storms around you cannot shake you. You are anchored, secure, and calm because the sovereign of the universe is holding your hand. Rest is not only about ceasing from work, it is trusting in Yahweh's timing, his plan, and his power. Child, when you try to control everything, your heart becomes weary and your mind restless. But when you surrender to Yahweh, you discover a depth of peace that surpasses understanding. He orders your steps, lightens your burdens, and renews your strength. Even when life seems unfair, when enemies rise, when sickness threatens, or when pain presses, remember this: Yahweh is working behind the scenes. His plans are perfect, his ways are higher than yours. His timing is flawless. Your rest is found not in escaping problems, but in trusting the God who controls them all. Child, be still and know that he is God. Lay down your worries, your fears, and your striving. Let his spirit fill your heart with peace that nothing can shake. His presence is your sanctuary, your refuge, your haven in a storm. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. John 14:27. This is the final word in this journey with Yahweh, the Eternal One. From the beginning of time to the end of all days, he remains unchanged, unshakable, and all-powerful. Everything you see, the sun, the stars, the mountains, the oceans, bow to his command. Everything you cannot see, angels, spirits, destiny, the future, exists under his authority. Yahweh is eternal, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Child, remember that your life, your steps, your struggles, and your victories are not random. Every breath you take, every trial you face, and every blessing you receive flows from his hand. Yahweh works all things together for your good, even when the path seems uncertain. Your protection, your provision, your peace, and your power all come from him. When darkness surrounds you, he is your light. When fear presses upon your heart, he is your courage. When enemies rise against you, he is your shield. The glory of Yahweh is beyond understanding. His ways are higher than your ways, his thoughts higher than your thoughts. He is both gentle and mighty. He comforts the weary, yet shatters the proud. He heals the broken, yet humbles the rebellious. His authority spans heaven and earth, and nothing happens outside his perfect will. Child, this is why you can walk boldly. This is why you can face tomorrow without fear. Yahweh has gone before you. He has prepared your way. No weapon formed against you will prosper. No plan of the enemy can succeed, because the sovereign of the universe is your defender. You are held, cherished, and victorious in his hands. Let your heart rejoice, child, for Yahweh's promises are true. Every tear will be wiped away. Every injustice will be corrected. Every loss will be restored. Every prayer spoken in faith will echo in heaven, and in his time all things will be made right. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. Child, rise in faith. Stand in the knowledge that Yahweh is with you. He is your refuge, your fortress, your mighty deliverer. He has conquered all powers, and he gives you victory over every battle, seen and unseen. Let your life be a testimony of his majesty. Let your words reflect his truth. Let your heart dwell in his peace. As this journey ends, remember this: Yahweh is eternal, his love unending, his authority supreme. Rest in him, walk with him, trust him fully, and let every day be a declaration of his glory in your life. For you are not alone, you are not forsaken, and you are destined to live under the shadow of his greatness forever. Child, bow your heart in gratitude, lift your eyes in faith, and walk boldly knowing Yahweh reigns. Yahweh protects. Yahweh is victorious, and you are His.